Hello viewers, welcome to K Diagnostics. Dio here. Today we have a 2005 Freightliner School Bus in the shop. This bus is here for preventive maintenance, and as we were checking everything, we realized that the rear brake shoes are worn out, so they have to be replaced. So on this video, I'm going to show you how to remove and replace rear brake shoes on this bus. And this bus is equipped with air brakes. So let's go to the rear axle and get these brake shoes replaced. Alright guys, so we are here on the rear axle. I already removed the tires and I got the bus on jack stands. So I didn't film that process, but what you need to do is you have to make sure your vehicle is parked on level ground, and you have to chuck the front wheels since we are lifting the back, and then use good jack stands and a good jack to jack up the vehicle and put it on jack stands. And then the next step is going to be releasing the park brake. This vehicle has got air brakes, and the air brakes, the parking brakes actually hold the rear drums. So to remove these rear drums, we have to release the parking brakes. Okay, so I already released the parking brakes. That's why you can see me spin this drum, because it's spinning freely right now. And I couldn't get the drum to come out, so I had to back off the slack adjuster slightly to free up the brake shoes from the brake drum. So, and then that's a process I'm not going to include in this video, but it's really easy to do. The slack adjuster is right here in front of the brake chamber, and on top of the slack adjuster there's an adjusting screw there that actually has to be backed off. So if you go counterclockwise, it actually retracts the brake shoes inside the brake drum. So with that being said, the brake drum is ready to come out. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna slide it out, and as you can see, the brake drum is out. And what you want to do after removing it is inspecting the brake drum. Actually, we're gonna replace this brake drum because it has cracks on it. So I hope you guys can see these cracks here on the drum. So this brake drum is cracked. So this brake drum has overheated at some point. So this brake drum is gonna get replaced too. So now the next step is gonna be removing the park brake shoes. The brake shoes, I'm sorry. So the brake shoes are cracked. Once I take them off, I'm gonna show you the cracks on the brake shoes. So I'm gonna bring Ivan here with me so we can take the brake shoes out. Alright, so now what are we gonna do? We're gonna remove this brake shoe retaining springs, and I'm just using regular tools, so a flat screwdriver, and I will also use this vice grip, this needle nose vice grips, and a pair of pliers. So I'm not using any fancy tools. You can do this job with basic tools. There's one spring here and then another one in the back. So here comes the other spring. So we got the brake shoes hold down springs off. So now let's go to the other side and remove the springs on the other side. I'm gonna use this adjustable wrench to push this brake shoe down, and then hopefully, Evan, can you push this down for me? Push it down. Go. Yeah, there you go. Good. All right, so that's removed. So what we're doing is we're removing this Cam Lobes right here to release the tension on the second spring, which is behind the S-cam. So we're using this adjustable wrench to lift the brake shoes to remove those lobes. All right, there you go. Good. So now let's get a hammer and tap the back of the brake shoes so they can come up. here comes our brake shoe. So you can lift that one. So this is the bottom shoe and that's the top shoe. And can you hold this up? The brake shoes are cracked.
Both.
There is Ivan. Both brake shoes are cracked. So we're gonna replace them. All right, good. So now the next step is cleaning that web. So we're gonna clean up there. Let's just get that air nozzle and blow it off. And then we're gonna install our new brake shoes. Alright, so we got our brand new brake shoes right here and we are ready to install them. There's actually a spring holder, little bar here that holds this long brake shoe spring. So this is what holds the brake shoe on the front. So it kind of holds both brake shoe like this. Thanks, Ivan. So now we're gonna install the upper brake shoe first. Is it sitting?
Yep.
Okay. And you want to install the upper brake shoe without the lobe because you want to have as much slack here as possible. So you need slack between the shoe and the S-cam. Because if you put the lobe, the shoe will be sitting up and then that's gonna actually widen the shoe, so it's gonna increase the tension on the spring.
Gotcha.
Is that what you were trying to do on the other side?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So now with this, with the lobe not being in place, actually installing the lower shoe should be a little bit easier. I mean, not really easy, but so I'm trying to just fish the spring in there, right? Now what I need to do is I just have to, yeah. Can you line up that side?
All right.
You see how easy that was?
Yeah.
Right?
Very easy.
Very easy, right?
Yep.
The secret to this is installing it without the lobes.
Right.
If we had the lobe will be pushing, because the lobes will hit the S-cam and they're gonna push the shoes upward, which will increase the tension on the spring.
Right.
Okay.
I want that.
Awesome. So now what we should do next is installing this brake shoe spring, this brake shoe hold down spring. Okay, there's two of them, but these ones are in the back. Can you install these? And then I'll turn the camera around so you can show everybody what we're installing back there. Alright, so we got the front spring, that yellow spring installed in the front. So now we have to install the back hold down springs. So it's these tiny blue springs right here. And what we need to do is we have to make sure that the brake shoes are sitting properly here and then install our spring. There's actually one, there are two. There's one in the front and then another one in the back. So this is gonna go this way. And then Ivan, can you come and hold this brake shoes, please? Just hold it up. And then I'm gonna use this vice grip, hopefully, to push that down. And there's actually a tool for this, and the vice grip is gonna work just fine. I'm actually gonna use regular tools that you can get at any part store if you ever decide to do this yourself. I got a vice grip on the spring, so now as I got a good grip on it, now I'm just gonna press on the spring until it reaches that hole. Okay, so now the spring is installed. I'll release it, just right there. And we're gonna do the same thing on the one in the back. Right there. I haven't used this tool in a while. Good. Alright, so here are the rear brake shoe hold down springs. There's one in the front and another one in the back, and both of them are installed. So now let's go to the front of the hub to install the Cam Lobes. Alright, so we're back here to the front. Now the next step is going to be installing the Cam Lobes. So Ivan is going to use an adjustable wrench to lift the upper. Let's start with the upper brake shoe. So now this is going to go right in there. Okay, there you go. Perfect. All right. I hope you guys were able to see that. So Ivan was lifting up, and while I was seating the cam lobe, the Cam lobe on the upper shoe. So we're gonna do the same thing, and the lobe here is got a little hold down spring, and this spring actually goes in this hole right here. So as you install it, you have to make sure that the spring ears here go in the hole.
Good?
Yeah, right there. There you go. Good. Alright. So now, let me see those slack adjuster tools that you have. We installed both Cam Lobes. So now what I'm going to do, as you can see, the Cam is sitting slightly on the lobe. This is supposed to happen when the brakes are applied. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna back off the slack adjuster a little bit. As I hope you guys can see this Cam spinning. So I'm taking it back to 0. I'm removing the tension from the lobes. So at this point, our brake shoes have been installed. Actually, I'm going to show you the back here. I don't know if the camera is picking that up. And then we will adjust the brakes, and that should be it. So let me give you guys a shot of the back here. Alright, so here is the Cam Lobes I was talking about. I don't know if the camera was able to pick that up. So now the lobes are sitting, and what I'm doing is I'm using this slack adjuster tool back here to just watch that. Watch this Cam move as I do that, and as I do that, it's actually expanding the brake shoes. Just watch that Cam. Do you see it moving? Okay. Alright, and as you install these lobes, you have to make sure that this spring right here is seated properly. It's got 2 ears that go into this hole right here, okay? And you have to make sure this lobe spring is sitting, so it's got 2 of them, one at the bottom and then another one at the back. You have to make sure that's sitting properly too. So if that's done, the next step is going to be installing the brake drum. So Ivan, are you ready to install the brake drum? So we're going to install the brake drum and then adjust shoes. Alright guys, so that's it. At this point, what are we going to do? The next step is going to be installing the drum. Ivan is just going to put the old drum on just to show you how to do that, because we don't have a new drum in stock. We're gonna have to call the parts store here and get a new drum. I thought we had it, but the one we have is wrong. So this is how where we're gonna end it. So Ivan, do you wanna put the drum? There we go. So this is how you remove and replace rear brake shoes on a Freightliner school bus. So Ivan, any last words before we wrap up here? Anything we missed?
I think that's it. After we just adjust them when we have the new drum.
We just adjust them, yeah. So we're gonna have to adjust them once we get the new drum. We're actually gonna remove this drum and put a new drum on it. So I hope you like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumb down. But if you do, you gotta tell me why. If you have any comments, questions, criticism, leave them in the comment box. And while you're down there, don't forget to ring the bell so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. Once again, thanks for watching. See you next time.